Ladies and gentlemen, the Mrs. Senior District of Columbia Pageant 2000 presents Mrs. Senior DC Thelma Moore.
Chairperson of the DC Commission on Aging, and I'd like to introduce to you any members of the DC Commission on Aging and the many commissions on aging. Please stand. The many commissions and the members of the Commission on Aging. Thank you. It is that time when we all can sit back, relax, and say, wow, isn't it great to be alive? It's especially great to be alive if you are a senior citizen. Believe me, being a senior in good health is gratifying and rewarding. Today, 9 beautiful senior ladies will walk across this stage, and I am sure that of those 9 ladies, you will identify with one, at least one, and say, oh, if I could be like her when I get older. My task this afternoon is a very pleasant one. I get to introduce the Master of Ceremonies. I get to introduce to you someone most of you already know, one that has been with us for quite a while, a very strong supporter of the elderly. He is a native Washingtonian, 4th generation, with over 35 years of radio and television community broadcasting. He is a graduate of Spingarn High School, Holy Apostles Catholic Seminary, and the Emerson Institutes of Communicative Arts and broadcasting. He has produced and hosted for WGMS, WHUR, WETA, WFTY, WOL, and WJZE-FM. He was the first to host a talent for WHMN Channel 32 and Evening Exchange. Jerry is a winner of over more than 100 outstanding media and civic community awards, including the Freedom Journal Award, a White House Appreciation Citation, and Washington, D.C. Most Distinguished Public Service Award. He is presently serving as the Public Affairs Director at 4 Chancellor Media radio stations and producer and host of Metro Talk and DC Weekly radio programs. It is a great contribution to this city and to our senior population to have him here. He is ours, and it is my great pleasure for me to be allowed the chance to present him. Audience, meet Jerry Phillips.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Washington, D.C., we can do better. Not for my applause, but let's hear a little noise out there. Are you living? There you go. All right. Goodness, ladies in town. I've been practicing that line since 9 o'clock this morning. It's really my great pleasure to be your master of ceremonies, and I certainly bring you greetings from AM and FM Media, our 4 radio stations, Oldies 100, Sports Talk 980, DC 101, and of course the station that we like to say, the music of your life station, the station for the mature generation, WGAY 1260. This afternoon is a great afternoon because we are going to present to you the Senior DC Pageant 2000. Today, 9 elegant ladies will compete for the title of Mrs. Senior DC 2000. They're some of the most talented women, 60 years of age and older. I've got a few telephone numbers I've already collected. All of them reside in, of course, the District of Columbia. So let's do now the pageant walk as I present to you the 9 elegant ladies. First, Selma R. Dillard, contestant number 1. Next, we have Geraldine Hall, contestant number 2. Next, we have Myrtle Smith Gardner, church, contestant number 3. Contestant number 4. Next, Virgilina Lee, contestant number 5. One fellow looked like he just graduated from Dunbar High School. He's beginning to wonder there. Let's give him a round of applause. Don't they look good, man? At this time, I would like to bring to the stage one of the persons responsible for producing this event. Never are there enough words to talk about this lady or to introduce her. I always say she's a dear friend. In addition to that, she is truly a public servant to this city. She's given much. Mrs. E. Veronica Pace is the Executive Director of the DC Office of Aging and the State Pageant Director for Senior America. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, a warm, warm welcome to E. Veronica Pace.
Jerry Phillips, and thank you for joining us today. You know, this is a code red day, and we know that before the event is over, we will have a full house. But I especially want to applaud you for not taking the weatherman's advice and staying home, because don't we have a tremendous cadre of contestants? You to promise me that you will keep in mind that they are all winners. All winners. There can be only one Miss Senior DC, but they all will be members of her court, and they all will have the opportunity to journey with Miss Senior DC 2000 to the national pageant. There are a number of people to thank, and I first of all want to thank Miss Senior DC 1999, Thelma Morgan. Can't she sing? And I want you to know she has done an outstanding job as Miss Senior DC. She has radiated her elegance, her charm, her beauty within and without. She has gone everywhere all over this city, to nursing homes, to mayoral events, council events, you name it. She has represented the Office on Aging and the District of Columbia splendidly. And she is going to be a hard act to follow. And in fact, I said to her that I was really selfishly almost pleased that she did not win the national pageant, because then we would have not had the benefit of her beauty, her grace, her style, and more importantly, her advocacy on behalf of older people. And that's the role of Miss Senior DC. It's not just to demonstrate the talent or to demonstrate one's physical beauty, but it truly is to celebrate aging, to celebrate life, to represent all that is positive about growing old with elegance, with grace, and more importantly, being engaged, continuing to be, to do, and to celebrate all the splendor of what it means to grow older in the District of Columbia and the nation at large. And the reality is, the future in this century and in the year 2000 really is aging. For the first time in this country, we have more older people than we do younger people, teenagers and adolescents. And no matter where you may find yourself, professionally or otherwise, you're going to have to reckon with the power of this nation, and that is our older Americans. You know, it takes a number of people to put on an event like this, and it is appropriate to thank them. And certainly that's my staff from the Office on Aging, the Senior Service Network, which I also call our extended family and staff, Family and Child Services, one of our lead agencies, the University of the District of Columbia for hosting us today and being so gracious, and all of the volunteers, the Cameo Club, who is made up of former contestants. They greeted you at the entranceways, and weren't they elegant? Yeah. At this time, I especially want to welcome our out-of-town guests and our fellow colleagues in the Senior America Pageant. Mr. Al Mott, the founder of Senior America Incorporated, and his wife, Betsy. Where are you, Al and Betsy? Please stand. Do we have a spotlight? I also want to recognize Louise Furlow, the National Cameo Club president. And you will hear from them later. And then Pinky Lee. Where are you, Pinky? All right. And we are truly blessed with the presence of Miss Senior America herself, who's from our sister brother state of Virginia. And it's with great pride that I introduce Joyce Riley Clautisse. And Pinky O'Neill is her pageant director. And you wait till you see this lady do her thing. You're in for a special treat. We're also pleased to have with us, because you see, we don't just move around with older people. We like to always nurture our young people. And we have Rashida Jolly, Miss District of Columbia, a beautiful and talented young lady. Don't you agree? Each one of our contestants, you will find, has a special philosophy that shows her concern for our youth, as well as for all residents of the District of Columbia. As I told you, the Senior DC Pageant represents everything that is positive about aging. I have yet to call on the Cameo Club and those involved in this city with the DC Pageant that they don't come out and stand strong, whether it's at a council hearing, whether it's testifying on the Office on Aging's budget, you name it, they make a difference. We have a great program planned for you today, and as I said, I want you to keep in your mind, in your heart, and in your spirit that they are all winners, and we should treat them accordingly. Again, thank you for joining us today and for staying with us. You will be glad that you did. And when we leave here today, let's leave with all the love, all the compassion, all the joy, celebrate life, and honor Miss Senior DC 2000. God bless.
Isn't she gorgeous, huh? Even Veronica Pace. Let's have another big hand for her. In radio, you always get these little announcements, and right now, before I go on, I'd like to give a round of applause for these guys over here. Guys and musicians. They are the Washington Saturday College Ensemble, huh? Thank you very much, gents. This is District of Columbia's. Those that are present, please come to the stage, as I asked, and we certainly want to recognize them. First, before we get to them, though, we do want to recognize some of the ladies that are still with us in spirit. Our first, of course, Mrs. Senior DC from 1980, Mrs. Mignon Coates, who passed this past year. Let's take a minute to remember her and others, such as the Mrs. DC, Senior DCs that have preceded her in death. Ruth Nelson, Gladys Elliott, Lillian Brown, and Alice Scott Kelly. Let's take just a minute for remembrance. In spirit, we love them. Right now, let's continue as we bring forth the Ms. DC, Senior DC, 1986, Josephine Campbell Simmons. they're coming, okay. They're coming up this way. Mrs. Simmons is 1986. And she's still beautiful. Diamonds. 1986. Mrs. Simon. I love your smile, I tell you. Also, let's bring Lois Ward Robinson of 1988. Mrs. Robinson, 1988. I was talking to Ms. Robinson backstage. She looked at me twice and she said, "You're kind of handsome." Oh, thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Huh? From 1989, Mildred Skipper Austin. All right. Is Levine Powell here, 1991? Then let's continue with Doris Thomas, 1992. Oh, look at this. Your hair is just gorgeous. This is Dorothy Jackson, 1993, and I can see why she was the winner in 1993. On T with Miss Jackson of 93, you know? Let's give her a big hand. Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. I think we have Collis Burrell, 1995. What about Mary Young of 1996? Here she comes, 1995. Ms. Burrell, 1995. Mary Young of 1996. Just gorgeous. Vivian Fields, 1997. And from 1998, Elaine Terry. Okay, lovely, huh? Let's give them all a big round of applause. I can never understand it. We're fighting for home rule to be a state. I think this is a nation here. Thank you, ladies, very much. Okay, well, we're going to get the ball rolling here now. We're going to introduce to you the judges. And I'd like to ask the judges to come center stage. First, the chairperson of the judges, Sandra Hunter. Mrs. Hunter is a native Washingtonian. She is an assistant manager at Bell Atlantic, where she has been employed for more than 30 years. She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications and Business Management and a Master's of Science degree in Human Resource Management from Trinity College. She serves as a volunteer with several nonprofit groups here in the Washington metropolitan area. Sandra is the proud mother of 2 children, and she has 2 grandchildren. Her goal is to grow older gracefully like the elegant woman or women who are participating in today's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sandra Hunter.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce today's judges. Our first judge is Leon Langford. Our next judge is Lisa A. Spells. Our next judge is Carrie Breinholt. And we're always prepared, so we have an alternate judge, Eva O. Aiken. And of course, we couldn't do this at all without our tabulators. Will they please come to the stage? Our tabulators are from Family and Child Services Incorporated of Washington, D.C., and they are Michael Townsend and Ray Vieira. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Introduce to you a person who's going to represent, or who is representing rather, the National Davenport. Miss Davenport is a former student of the Fran Studios of Dance. She is a student presently at Morgan State. She's from Fort Washington, Maryland. And I'd like to welcome Ms. Davenport to our stage to perform for us Sweet Georgia Brown.
Georgia Brown, 2 left feet, but
we're going to begin the first segment of our competition. As I introduce the contestants, they will share with us their philosophy of life. Dylan.
No, I still wouldn't change a thing. You can't be brave if you only have good things to happen. I believe in hard work. It keeps a smile on my face. I love gathering around the dining room table. That's when the storytelling begins. So much love, joy, hope, and the shedding of tears. Everyone slows down long enough to say so long and goodbye. Age is not important. It's what you do with your time.
Next, we have philosophy of life, Geraldine Hall, contestant number 2.
The world seems golden when I can remember to treat others the way I'd like to be treated. All right, the world's not that golden, but it still can be sweeter when we dare to remember to give up never, to bear up always, to stick life out through whatever may come. In other words, keep on keeping on.
Geraldine Hall. Ronald Smith Godlier Church, contestant number 3.
I trust in God and I keep a positive attitude. Every day I thank Him for His unconditional love and His precious gifts. My faith has enabled me to not only cope with many of life's adversities, but to appreciate the beauties of life. I believe that all things are possible and that doing for others is the greatest reward.
Contestant number 4, Patricia Giles.
Love is the will to extend yourself for the purpose of nurturing yourself and another in spiritual growth. I was made on the painter's palette. I was made on the printer's bed. I was made with a flood of colors mixed with black and white in my blood. No rainbow shines to capture light. A language brings the drought. In the beginning, color was not made known. The word of man makes black a tone. God is joy. It's hard to sleep when you first discover you're kin to joy in the great recover.
Patricia Giles. Philosophy of life, Virginia Lee, contestant number 5.
To lend a helping hand to others around me, touching lives in such a way that when I am no longer here, people will remember the good things. Anytime I can, I try to help smooth some of life's wrinkles, and always remember, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Contestant number 6, Daisy Savage.
Life is incredible, full of sunshine and rain. What a marvelous difference one person can make as he or she enhances and embraces the life of others with love.
I have seen many rainbows of hope, endured many clouds of despair. Still, I begin each day with a prayer of thanks and a new page, exclusively thine.
Daisy Savage. Jaquetta Patrick, contestant number 7.
Life is a glorious gift from God. We should live it to the best of our ability. But should we stumble and fall, pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, put a smile on our faces and a song in our hearts, lift our heads up and continue on. For if you believe in yourself, you shall succeed.
Jaquetta Patrick. Contestant number 8, Louise Driscoll.
I am a woman of 1,000 generations. It is my spiritual obligation to share my wisdom and knowledge with those who are destined to follow. I let my light so shine to make the journey easier as they pursue their hopes and dreams. And I pray they will always take extraordinary pride in being just who they are.
Louise Driscoll. Our final contestant, contestant number 9, Iola Hall.
My life is but a small window in a vast universe. Yet my thoughts and my deeds impact on my descendants into perpetuity. We are a legacy to future generations, a life of conviction and commitment. For we are the shoulders on which the next generation stands. It is my prayer that when the torch is passed, it will burn even brighter, because I was the keeper of the flame.
Philosophy, wisdom, logic, thought, intellect, meaning. Aren't they lovely? Aren't they wonderful? Now, for our next item of the program, we bring to you to the stage our reigning Ms. Senior DC. She is so charming, not only as a person who can sing and give the world such beautiful, beautiful music, but her fragrance of life is simply stunning. You can see why she is Ms. Senior DC, Thelma Morgan.
Stars shall applaud.
tell you, this is off the script. So, if they say anything backstage, just tell them we did. You know, I went to Mass this morning, and I just knew I was lifted. But I think God put the signature to it by bringing us this charming woman. Thelma Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Boy. Whew. Well, now, that's Thelma Morgan. Contestants are going to perform for us right now. Let's get started with the first presentation. Selma Dillon is going to perform Your Blues Ain't Like My Blues. If you are a performer, sometimes you have those days when you get something in your throat at the time you really want to perform. Geraldine Hall is truly a performer. She's to sing for us The Man I Love. I understand that Geraldine Hall does have a wee bit of a cold, so let's kind of bear with that. But I bet she can perform anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Geraldine Hall.
When he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him stay. He'll look at me and smile, I'll understand, and in a little while, he'll take my hand, and so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I
Sunday, maybe Monday, maybe not. Still, I'm sure I'll meet him one day. Maybe Tuesday will be my good dead news day. We'll build a little home just meant for two, in which I'd never roam. Who would you? And so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I love.
Truly a performer, huh? Geraldine Hall, the man I love. Boy, I tell you. Right now, we're going to hear from Myrtle Smith Gonier Church. She's going to perform for us Ave Maria by Franz Schubert. Ave Maria. You know, Franz Schubert would be turning over right now saying you're just so gorgeous, beautiful. Thank you very much. Huh? Let's give her a round of applause. Myrtle Smith, Gonier Church. Schubert's Ave Maria. Next, they're setting up the stage. This is really going to be a nice one. Patricia Giles is our contestant number 4. She's going to do a presentation. A River Born.
My concern today is what will become of me if I make a sudden appearance as a single entity and not know where I came from. I guess I'll have to settle for others to call my name Mrs.
Label or Mrs. Classified. If you're not the color white, and you're not the color black, if you're not a tint, if you're not a shade, if you're not of any hue, folks wouldn't know what to make of you. They wouldn't know what to do. A cardinal reckoning is on the painter's palette. The colors Yellow, red, and blue are called the primary attitudes, although the transmission of our heritage takes them from the tubes. Man has already given color distinction by naming them hues. The stock market and the art museum, as a media of exchange in our material world, agrees that color when mixed with black is called a shade. Color when mixed with white is called a tint. Color when mixed, black and white mixed with color, and you find a tone is made. I'm so filled with the rhythmic beat that penetrates my land, just like a river born. It'll take eternity before I'm shiver shorn. I will be like nature upon a city crest. Let that which fills me flow and flow to feed upon her breast till I can feel that repulsion of his black incarnate soul.
Trisha Gott, huh? Very lovely. You know, performing is not the easiest in the world because of the fact that a lot goes into it. And I imagine being senior and a senior performer, you've had many experiences in life by which you can perfect your performance. And I think so far we've seen a lot of perfection. Presentation. Next Sunday being Father's Day, some resemblance or some connection. But her presentation is actually called Mother to Son.
Hey, children, wake up! I'm going to talk to you about my life. And my life ain't been no crystal stair. I was born the granddaughter of a slave on the dusty roads in South Carolina. My neighbors
are going to see another presentation. This time is Poetic Expressions. And Daisy Savage is going to perform for us. And while she gets ready, I just want to share with you the fact that putting a pageant together takes lots of work. A lot of people, as Veronica said in the very beginning, the fact that you have so many people participating, so many volunteers. Certainly in your pageant booklet, there's an interesting background about how all of the various interviews and judging procedures take place. This is very important because everybody wants to make sure, and that's one of the things about a pageant, everybody wants to make sure that it's done fairly. That's the most important thing, that it's done fairly. So if you have a chance, kind of glance through this and you can get a good understanding as to how a pageant is really put together. Right now, let's bring on Daisy Savage, contestant number 6, with the presentation, Poetic Expressions.
Not ready for bye-bye. I'll write a letter up to the sky. I think I will say, hello up there. It's me down here. How do you expect me to climb a mountain to find my good? You know I broke my leg back in '56, and my knee has been messed up since then. Oh, sure, I still play tennis, but that's therapy. How can I soak my feet on a mountain plateau? You know I got arthritis. What about my blood pressure? You know I'm on a special diet. I can't eat charbroiled foods. I can't eat out of cans. They give me gas. Who's gonna get my retirement check if I'm not here? I've worked hard all my life. I've raised my kids. I've helped them out with my grandkids. Suppose they need me. What will they do if I'm not here? I just gotta watch my soaps. I just can't leave them. I can't do it. Just gotta help me out, somebody. I just can't leave my children. Suppose they need me. If I leave them, who's gonna look after them? Can't you find somebody else to do this? Why are you picking on people like me? I sincerely hope you would reconsider your requirements and find somebody else to do this. I gotta play tennis now.
Daisy Savage, Poetic Expressions, with her tennis ball, tennis racket, and she has assistants too. I don't understand it. Yes, you know, all this assistance they get. The fact that the pageant itself has many sponsors. One sponsor I'd like to just share a few words about as we get ready for our next presentation. That particular sponsor is the Family and Child Services of Washington, D.C. It's an organization like this, nonprofit, that contributes much to our communities and to our neighborhoods because they're like a knitting sort of organization, keeping people together, networking, and working with people, children and adults. They do an awful lot to help families in crisis, in a day when we find violence very much a part of our life and our family lifestyles. So I would just like to mention that one of our sponsors, the Family and Child Services of Washington, D.C., certainly deserves much of the credit that we want to give to them. And we thank them for being a sponsor of today's pageant. 98 degrees outside. It's going to be like this tomorrow. Rain on Tuesday. You can see on typical radio, I write the weather all the time and get it wrong all the time, too. But the song Summertime certainly means a lot to us. It's a good day for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaquetta Patrick and Summertime. Summertime, Gershwin. Very nice, Jaquetta Patrick. Well, Louise Driscoll is going to come out and sing for us now. And while she's getting her microphone on, I want to take just a second to remind you of the Cameo Club. This is the District of Columbia Senior America Cameo Club, another sponsor of this pageant. They, of course, established in the District of Columbia by 6 elegant ladies, and their first meeting was held in 1995, September of that year. The members are women 60 years of age and older. They actually competed for the title of Miss Senior DC. Those represented the District of Columbia as Miss Senior DC and the Senior America Pageant as well. This is an organization that does a lot for the community. They give a lot, and certainly we're proud to have them also on the list of sponsorships. The District of Columbia Senior America Cameo Club. Right now, we're going to listen to Louise Driscoll. She is contestant number 8, and she's singing That Man of Mine.
I gotta love one man till I die. I can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy. Tell me he's slow. Tell me I'm crazy, maybe I know, but I can't help loving that man of mine. Now when he goes away, it's a rainy day, but when he comes back,
is fine, the sun will shine, 'cause he can come home as late as can be. 'Cause home without him, Lord, ain't no hope to me. 'Cause I can't help loving that man of mine.
Beautiful music, huh? Gershwin, Summertime, and then that Man of Mine, all from the old halls of Pauky. Next, Iola Hall, contestant number 9, is going to do something a little unique here. It's called the Kudzu Crafts. This should be very, very different and something that you'll learn a lot about. Ladies and gentlemen, present Iola Hall.
About 10 years ago, I went south to reclaim the family homestead. When spring came, the 2 lots beside the house were completely covered with a strange vine. So I had to hire a man to clean the lots. He came with his tractor and a large cutting machine on the rear. After about 6 weeks, you looked out there, it was a sea of green. So I had to hire him back again. And after that time, I got the idea. I'd take my hoe and go out and uproot the roots. Okay? Sometimes I'd be out in the field and my neighbor across the street would call over to me and say, "Child, get out of that field, you're gonna kill yourself. That's kudzu. Ain't nobody do nothing with that thing." So I decided I'd do a little research, and I found the Secretary of Agriculture in 1937 on his fact-finding mission to Japan had seen that vine growing there and brought some seeds back to the farmers in America. But it had gotten out of control. So I was walking across the field one day thinking, if there was anything you could do with this vine, it wouldn't be here. And a sweet voice spoke to me, "Make baskets out of it." Time stood still. When I got myself together, I went back up to the house and I sat down and I thought about what was happening to me. My daughter came for a visit on the weekend, and I told her about my spiritual experience. She says, "Well, Mama, you just got to learn how to make baskets." She might as well have said, "Go to the moon." So anyway, I went out the next week and got some how-to books and taught myself to weave, and I took a few samples to the seniors program. The word went across town like wildfire. Before I knew it, I was on the 6 o'clock news. Next thing I knew, the major newspaper had sent a reporter out. And a photographer that gave me a half page in style section. I was taken all over the county. Fairgrounds, schools, churches, shopping centers. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the judges have to go to work right now. They have a tough job, and I wish them well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the Cameo Club. The Cameo Club consists of all contestants who has participated in the Miss Senior DC Pageant. I'm sure there are many places you could be this afternoon, but we are very pleased that you chose to be here with us. And your presence enhances our desire to continue to do better and better and better. We do hope you are enjoying this pageant. We hope you are enjoying the presentation of this pageant as much as we enjoyed its preparation. The elegant ladies that you see around serving as hostess, they are members of the Cameo Club. The officers are Daisy Savage, President, Yours truly, Vivian Fields, Vice President, Margaret Winston, Secretary, Eva Woodson, Treasurer, Alberta Bryant, Chaplain, Doris Thomas, ex-official. And the members are Helen Bell, Carlos Burrell, Louise Driscoll, Yvonne Kelly, Mary Payne, Miss Vesta Washington, Letha Blunt, Carrie Butler, Wilma Harper, Pearl Minor Perry, Princess Simon, Constant Woody, Ella Brennan, Maddie Davis, Dorothy Jackson, Thelma Morgan, and Elaine Terry, and Mary Young. And I do hope you continue to enjoy the pageant.
Thank you, Mrs. Fields. Our next segment on the program is the evening gown competition. Our 9 contestants will be judged on their poise and elegance. Coming to the stage first, of course, will be Selma Dillard. Selma Dillard. Next, Geraldine Hall, contestant number 2. Contestant number 2, Geraldine Hall. Contestant number 3, Myrtle Smith Gaudier's Church. Contestant number 9, Iola Hall. Contestant number 9, Iola Hall. Ah, boy, I tell you, it's hard to pick tonight, huh? Man. Well, let's see. I would simply say that was beautiful, huh? Let's give them all a big round of applause. This completes the judging portion of our competition. Of course, all of the results from this interview, the philosophy of life, the talent presentation, as well as the evening gown competition, will now be tallied to get the final results. This is the hardest part of a pageant. While the results are being tallied, we will bring to the stage once again Mrs. Senior DC so that she may give her farewell address. Ladies and gentlemen, she is so lovable, so talented, and so graceful about life. Thelma Morgan, Mrs. Senior DC.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is the day that I've been waiting for. So the first thing that I would say at this point is, to God be the glory.
Yes.
I praise him for what he has done for me, for what he has done with me, through me, during my reign as Miss Senior District of Columbia 1999, which was not, may I add, an easy task. What a life-changing experience this has been. Time passes so fast, though, when you're having fun. Someone once said, time is a versatile performer. It flees, it marches on, it heals all wounds, and it runs out. And today it ran out. It seems like only yesterday that I was crowned to reign from the end of one millennium to the beginning of another. What an honor this has been. My goal was to promote this recognition of Miss Senior District of Columbia and to inspire and encourage others that age is only a state of mind. So if you don't mind, it won't really matter. Just keep on doing all that you can, as long as you can. And I have resolved never, never, ever to allow my body, its age, its ailments, and all of these things that come upon us as seniors, I will not allow it to limit my spirit of usefulness. I will continue to be involved as long as there is a place to be involved. I will continue accepting challenges to enrich my mind, my body, and my spirit. I will continue to demonstrate the pageantry of elegance. I have truly enjoyed my reign, and I will continue to be a positive role model for all seniors as well as for the younger generation. I have met many beautiful people whose friendships I shall forever cherish. I have participated in more than 50 programs and activities throughout the metropolitan area. I have performed as soloist, mistress of ceremonies, fashion model, speaker, and sometimes just going around patting the heads of babies. I have appeared on TV and radio, and with our very own Jerry Phillips, who's here today. Where else would I have been able to meet such a distinguished person? Some of my most memorable experiences are the Miss Senior American Pageant in Las Vegas last year. What a wonderful time we had. I also participated in DC Pride Talent Show at the Lincoln Theater and many YMCA programs. Just recently, I was at a senior fest at Conti AME Zion Church and a gospel buffet in Forestville, Maryland. During Black History Month, I think the performance at Metropolitan Baptist Church, where African American women sing solos of praise, was really one of the very highest moments of my life. And during Women's Month, the Blacks in Government sponsored a program and invited me to come to perform. So as I relinquish my crown to the incoming Miss District of Columbia Senior 2000, I sincerely hope that she will take advantage of all the opportunities that this title will bestow upon her. I pledge my continued support to her and to the mission of Miss Senior America Pageant. It has been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to represent the District of Columbia senior community. I sincerely hope that I have exemplified the maturity, wisdom, and inner beauty befitting to a woman of elegance. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share my time, my talent, and the message that honor women who have reached the age of elegance. I am always inspired by the songwriter who wrote, "People who need people are the luckiest people in the world." So with an attitude of gratitude, I thank my mother, Mrs. Gertrude Perry, for allowing me to go and leave her home so much all alone. My children, Robert, Denise, Patricia, and Terry, who supported me every step of the way. I would also like to thank my devoted friends, Preston James and Miss Alethea Blunt. Many thanks to my cousin Betty Elsie, who's always there for me and was with me today to button me up and pat on me and encourage me so that I could come out here and get enough nerve to talk and sing before you. Special thanks also to the members of my court and to the sponsoring agencies, DC Office on Aging, Family and Child Services of Washington, D.C., DC Senior America Cameo Club, and my YMCA Golden Agers. Thank you, Golden Agers. So with much love and joy, I wish you all peace and many blessings. Thank you.
Lovely lady, huh? Thelma Moore. I present to you another lady who represents the District of Columbia. In fact, she will be representing the District of Columbia very soon in the Miss America pageant. She is Miss District of Columbia She attends Niagara College, where she's studying music and history, and she's going to perform for us His Eye is on the Sparrow.
Discouraged. Why should the shadows haunt? Why should my heart feel lonely, headlong for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me, and I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watch. I know He watch, and I know He watches
Rashida Jolly. So when she goes to Atlantic, she's going to kind of give us a little taste of entertainment, a medley of song. McConnell, who is the Executive Director of Family and Child Services of Washington, D.C., to join me here, as she is one of the sponsoring organizations, Family and Child Services. Charlotte.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hasn't this been a glorious occasion and a beautiful day? I just want to take this moment, first of all, to thank some people who have been very instrumental in making this day a success. First of all, I think Jerry Phillips, his introduction really didn't go far enough to describe what a wonderful benefit he is to the Washington community and all of the things that he's done. So in addition to thanking him for doing a wonderful job today, filling in, being charming, and all of the wonderful things that he does so well, I think we should also, as we thank him for everything that he does for the community. Let's give him another round of applause. And of course, I get the easy job of just coming up at the end and thanking people. We have a very special person, many of you know her very well, who works very hard almost year-round to make sure that this occasion is successful, and that person is Gwen Coleman. Gwen, please come out. And thank you, Gwen, for all that you do year-round. You know, I was thinking as I was listening to the speakers and all of the presenters and the contestants today, that we know that life is not a crystal stairway. Life is difficult. And I think when we see the women today in all of their elegance and all of their talent, we sometimes forget that these women, in addition to all of this, they've survived a lot. We don't know what it is, but they're survivors. And they've survived with charm and elegance. And I think we should give them all another round of applause. I think whenever I come to the pageant, I always feel that it is an extension of church. And I think that's because many of the women have really maintained their contact with God and with the spiritual side of themselves. And I think we all have to follow that example. They are truly blessed, and we're truly blessed to have them. I would also like to thank you for coming out, for supporting us. You support us every year, and we really appreciate it. I can't see you because of the lights, but I know that you're out there. So please give yourself a round, rousing applause. And for Michael and Ray, wherever you are, they were our counters that were introduced earlier. Thank you, and keep up the good work. And for you seniors, I have a surprise, maybe not, but I want you to know that Virgie Smith is here. Virgie, would you like to stand and say hello to everyone? For those of you who don't know, Virgie for many years was the director of our Model Cities Wellness Center. And Virgie, would you mind if I tell them which birthday you're going to celebrate? Okay. Virgie will be celebrating her 80th birthday. So again, I would just like to thank you. Family and Child Services really enjoys supporting this event and sponsoring this event with the Office on Aging. We've been doing it for a number of years now, and we look forward to doing it for many more years in the future, perhaps until I'm eligible to become a contestant. Thank you all very much.
All right, getting down to the wire. Man, you should see the ladies backstage, really getting down to the wire. Gwendolyn Coleman, chairperson of the Senior DC Pageant Planning Committee, is going to join us right now. She's going to make some presentations. While she's coming out, I'm going to ask also one of the ladies to join us, and that's Virgilina Lee, I think. Want to hold something? Yes. You look like you're jamming here. Okay. Oops, there you go. It's not to say jamming 99, 4 and 5, you know. Okay.
Greetings. On behalf of the 9 contestants of 2000, I would like to present Miss Gwendolyn Mosley with these flowers. Thank you.
There's a photo op. I want you to picture. Put the book down. Go to the center stage with your flowers and photo op.
You know, this has been a hard job, and every year I say to my supervisor, who is now the executive director of Family and Child Services, Charlotte, you know, I can't do this anymore. And she, in her nicest way, always says, oh, Gwen, you can do it. Okay, so I'm back again. But I have some special presentations, but I do want you to know that nothing happens in a vacuum, that it takes a lot of dedicated people to get this done. And each year we seem to surprise our own selves of what we can do. And my committee this year has been so diligent and so sincere and such honorable people that I want to say thank you. But first, I want to say thank you to Jerry Phillips. And although I'm going on public record that we have to redo his plaque because it does not have the correct radio station all the way on it, but Mr. Phillips, I want to present you with this plaque as Master of Ceremonies for us.
Do you have insurance on your cameras?
You know, each year, whomever wears the crown of Miss District of Columbia has a job set out for her. And Mrs. Morgan stepped out on the right foot, and she went throughout the metropolitan area, singing and doing whatever she could to share light and to let people know what Miss Senior DC was all about. Mrs. Morgan, you know, it's one thing about this pageant, you get some newfound friends. And this is our songbird, and she just brings so much joy and inspiration to each of us. Mrs. Morgan, we'd like to present you with a plaque for your dedicated and sincere services to Miss District of Columbia. Ms. Morgan, I am so proud of you. The whole committee is proud of you, and we want to present you with this plaque. We have some other ones. You know, I'm waiting on the judges' stuff to get downstairs. Miss Joyce Riley Clortis, Miss Senior America, we have an award for you. Miss Rashida Jolly. Yes, please, get off the stage. Danielle Davenport, who danced for us. Each year we tried different things, so we brought you a lot of talent this year. To the judges, I have your certificates down here, so each of our judges who's had the hardest job in the whole thing today, and I told the tabulators, you've done an excellent job, so tabulators, we also have awards for you. And to all of our escorts. You know, we try to bring some elegance to everything that we do because we feel that our senior ladies epitomize what Senior America talks about in terms of the ladies of elegance. And so I just want to thank each of you for coming today and being with us. And Virgie, I cannot see you, but I'm happy to know you're here.
Are you ready? Good. That means that we're now going to bring our contestants back to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2000, Miss Senior DC contestants. While they're coming on stage, let me simply say that these ladies have had a great couple of months getting to know each other, getting to be friends with each other, sometimes wondering about each other, helping each other as they prepare to compete in this pageant. And that's what pageantry is all about. They've been asked to vote for the contestant they feel should be recognized as Miss Congeniality. Mrs. Congeniality. The ballots have been sealed, and I have the honor of announcing the winner. And the winner for Mrs. Congeniality. Come on up, I can follow you. What's your name? Brandon. Here's Brandon, ladies and gentlemen. Come on out here, man. They can't see behind that podium. There you go. All right, Brandon, Mrs. Congeniality. Oh, my. Here we go. Here we go. I like this kind of stuff. I'll never get to Hollywood. You can bet on that. The District of Columbia. just wonderful, wonderful ladies. And all I can say, the stage is dressed with grace. Mrs. Senior, District of Columbia 2000 pageant. It says here there's a three-way tie. And I want to ask to clarify on this. It is a three-way tie for Miss Congeniality, and I can understand it. Judges, you've had a problem. Selma Dillon. Virgilina Lee. Louise Driscoll. All the ladies of personality all the way, huh? Man, I tell you, huh? Very good, ladies. Thank you very much. Let's have a round of applause for them. And of course, the winners will receive a trophy as well as a plaque, I understand. Do we have the trophy and the plaque? We will be coming down, okay? Here we go.
Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of presenting the trophy to the Miss Congeniality. This year we have 3 women who was chosen Miss Congeniality, but we only have 1 trophy. Ladies, your trophy will be forthcoming. So to you ladies, I present to you the trophy of Miss Congeniality.
All right. They want the 3 ladies, will you step together? Right? These gentlemen, they want to take beautiful pictures. There you go. There you go. Okay. Year 2000, huh? This is Congeniality. Thank you, ladies. Now for the moment that you've all been waiting for. Before we get to that moment, we have the talent winner. And I'm going to open the envelope. I tell you, man, the Washington Saturday Ensemble has been something else. Washington Saturday College Ensemble. Everybody been playing it. Here we go. Talent. Jaquetta Patrick Summertime. There you go. The great talent, Jaquetta Patrick. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the envelope that has all of the information that we've been waiting for a long, long time. And I'm patiently trying to get my fingers to open this envelope, but I've now got the envelope open, and we're going to start with the 3rd runner-up. Mrs. Senior District of Columbia 2000 pageant. This is the official announcement on this 11th day of June 2000. 3rd runner-up, Mrs. Virgilina Lee, number 5, Kentucky. I tell you. Virgilina Lee, thank you very much. Average. Contestant number 6. Only my buddy here, but we know that we got it. You work for Wells Fargo too, huh? Nice. And this was all in the Wells Fargo Bank. I know that line. They use it in every pageant. and gentlemen, huh? Second runner-up, number 6. First runner-up, Merle Smith Gaudius Church, number 3 contestant. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask the orchestra to give us a little drum roll, please. We paid a lot for that drum roll. You know, roll the drum across the floor, anything, we don't care. There you go. Ah, got a little African beat there. I like that. Get me my salsa step for later on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Senior District of Columbia 2000, Jaquetta Patrick. and much love.